Hello children, today I am going to teach you the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo. This poem expresses our courages. The poem elaborates the desire of the duck, confronted with the limits of the pond, to go beyond and travel the world like the kangaroo did. The duck requests the kangaroo to take it on a trip and find a solution to the problem which the kangaroo would face. This poem, The Duck and the Kangaroo, was written by Edward Lear. Let us see little bit know about the poet Edward Lear. Edward Lear, born on 12th May 1812 in Holloway, UK. He was an English artist, illustrator, musician, an author and a poet. He was known mostly for his literary nonsense in poetry and prose, and especially his remarks. His notable works are The Book of Nonsense, The Owl and the Pussy Cat. He used animal characters a lot. Through these characters, he portrayed friendship and etc. He died on 29 January 1888 in Italy at the age of 75. Now let's move to the poem. The Duck and the Kangaroo renews the two characters. One is the duck and another one is the kangaroo. It is a dialogue between the two of them, and the poem narrates the story of their adventures. Now let's read the poem. The Duck and the Kangaroo. Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you," said the duck to the kangaroo. "Please give me a ride on your back," said the duck to the kangaroo. "I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through, and we had go to the deep and the jelly bolly, over the land and over the sea. Please take me on a ride, oh do," said the duck to the kangaroo. Said the kangaroo to the duck, "This requires a little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck, and there seems but one objection, which is, if you'll tell me speak so bold. Your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatics," said the kangaroo. Said the duck, "As I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of rusted socks, which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out cold, I have bought a cloak, and every day a cigar I will smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of you, kangaroo." Said the kangaroo, "I am ready, all in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady and quite at the end of my tail." So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And oh, so happy, oh, as the duck and the kangaroo. Now explanation, children. Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you," said the duck to the kangaroo. Here the duck is awestruck to see the movement of the kangaroo. It expressed that the kangaroo could hop continuously over the fields and water bodies too. The duck's life was boring, as it remained in the pond all the time. It wished to see the world beyond the limits of the pond. It wishes that it could also hop like the kangaroo. Now let's move to the second stanza. Please give me a ride on your back, said the duck to the kangaroo. I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the long day through, and we would go the D and the jelly bowly over the land and over the sea. Please take me on a ride. Oh, do, said the duck to the kangaroo. Here the duck requests the kangaroo to give it a ride on its back. It promised that it would sit quietly and would just quack all the day. The duck lists the places that they want to visit as D and Jelly Bowly. It adds that they would hop over the land and also the sea. Now let's move to the third stanza. Said the kangaroo to the duck, this requires a little reflection. Perhaps on the whole it might bring me luck, and there seems but no objection, which is, if you all let me speak so bold. Your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold, and would probably give me the rheumatism, said the kangaroo. See, here the kangaroo replied that it had to think over it, that to take the duck on its back. The idea could be good for him, but he had an objection. That the kangaroo had an objection. That the duck's wet and cold feet could give the body pain for the kangaroo. So, next what will happen, we will see in the next stanza. Said the duck, as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks, which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out the cold, I have bought a cloak, and every day a cigar I will smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of you, a kangaroo. The duck said that as it sat on the rocks during the day, it had thought over it. In order to avoid that, the duck had brought 4 pairs of woolen socks, which fitted its web-shaped feet well. In order to stay warm, it would wear a what? Shrub. And also, what it would do? It would smoke a cigar every day. The duck would do all this to protect the kangaroo, as it was a beloved one to take to around the world. Now let's see the 5th stanza. Said the kangaroo, I am ready, all in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady and quite at the end of my tail. So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy, oh who, as the duck and the kangaroo. Here the kangaroo was satisfied with the duck's response and got ready for the ride. At night, when the sky was filled with the pale light of the moon, they started their trip with a hop. The kangaroo asked the duck to hold it firmly, and they travelled around the world 3 times. Both of them enjoyed each other's company. That's all for this poem, children. Now let's see the moral of this poem. The moral of this poem also deals with the theme of friendship. Friends who help others not only give joy but also experience happiness themselves also. That's all, children. Thank you.